I watch these movies and I wonder, I'm like, I see the actors that play in them and the cast or whatnot, and I just, like, who picks these people, man? Seriously, is that the best you could do? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought actors were like, and there was a bunch of them. I really did. I thought there was like a lot of people aspiring to be actors. And you see movies and you're like, wow, that's the best they can find? Seriously, there's got to be, some, I don't know. I don't know. I'd refuse to cast some of these people if I was making them. I mean, do they get to a point when they see this, like, these people and they're like, I just have to have that guy in my movie? And he's some of the crappiest actors I've ever seen in my entire life. I know it's low budget and you get what you can afford, but oh my god, I know there are some people that are actually decent that would be willing to work for less money. I mean, I'm not saying, high big name people, but whatever. Alright, the movie. It's called Absolute Zero. Yeah, that's the score for it. Absolute freaking zero. It's about the Earth flipping its polarities, or I don't know. It turns on its axis and spins the other way or something, or the polarities change, and like instead of the top and bottom as we know it freezing, everything this way freezes. I don't know. It's the equator like anything 33 degrees above or below the equator, anything between there freezes all around the world. I don't recall how it happened. It was some scientific stuff that they made up that was so confusing, even a real scientist wouldn't know what they were talking about. And so anyways, it revolved around Miami. The story did. I mean, the whole equator froze, but Miami is apparently important. So it revolved around Miami. They were having some the movie started out, they were in some place that was real cold with ice and stuff all over, having a barbecue, and it was seriously, they were having a barbecue. I'm not joking. I normally am, but not this time. They were having a barbecue, and a hole opened up in the ground, like shifted plates or something, and some guy fell in. I don't know, you could see it coming, and he just stood there and fell in. And then it goes on for about the first hour, I'll say, with this one scientist figuring out that the polarities are, the kind of movie where like one guy figures something out that's going to change the world or end it, and everybody thinks he's crazy and nobody listens to him, and then it happens. Well, that's this movie. It's standard fare for saving the world type stuff. Goes on for like an hour. This guy telling him, hey, it's gonna happen. No, it's not. Hey, yes, it is. Then he got these two students of his. He's a professor, and two of the students also figured it out, and I guess he was using them as backup to support his theory. And of course, he was gonna believe. They were like grad students, but still, that's not cool. Wow, you've been studying for like 2 years as a scientist. You really know your stuff. And that's what they were saying. I'm not saying I would listen to him. If anybody comes at me with a some crazy theory like that, it may be crazy, but it's not worth shrugging off. You should look into something like that, especially if it means the world's gonna end. I mean, they may be crazy, but at least you should prove them wrong instead of assume they're wrong. And they just went ahead and assumed, and you know what that does. So the Earth started freezing to absolute zero, and that scientist and some woman he was supposed to marry 10 years ago, but he left because he was too stupid to tell her, hey, I love you. That's not hard, is it? I mean, I'm pretty good at saying 3 words. It's not, whatever. He's stupid. And then she married this other guy that was a friend of his and had a kid, but the guy died because it was funny when he died. It was the worst death scene I've ever seen. He was like, some tree or something flew at him. He made the stupidest noise, like as bad as I just did. And he died. So now the guy's trying to move in on his hottie because this girl's mom, her daddy's dead now. So, but he takes them too and takes them back to the lab, and he takes the two kids that believed in him, his two grad students, takes them to the lab, and they're trying to run away from this cold because there's this like airtight chamber in the science lab place he works at, and so they go there, and his plan was to lock him in there until, I don't know until what. I mean, it hit absolute zero. I don't know when it was gonna go away, but apparently like the next day, because a helicopter came and picked them up like 5 minutes after they locked themselves in there, when everything around them just froze completely. I don't know. Airplanes were just freezing and crashing. It was, well, they never showed it because it's low budget, but they showed a airplane on the ground, I'm assuming. Yeah, and so they locked themselves in there, and the guy, he delivered an awesome line. It's not his fault. Maybe it sounded like an ad lib, I don't know. But he's trying to save his boss man while they're in the building. The boss of the building, his old boss, was the only guy left, and this guy's all about money. And he's in his office as the place is freezing over, and he's like, these deals were worth millions of dollars. He's holding these papers. I guess they were gonna settle something, I don't know. They were worth millions of dollars. And so he's sitting there, and he's like, the scientist is like, come with me, we gotta get out of here. And the guy's like, no, just leave me, I'll just stay here. And then, I don't know, he grabs him and pulls him and starts running away, and he's like, not on my watch. It was so out of place, like, not on your watch. What? This guy can't sit here and mull over his important papers, documents? What? Not on your watch? This guy's not gonna let himself die. That's his watch, man. Let him wind it if he wants, man. Screw that. I would have been gone. And he didn't even like him. The dude was rude and the boss was rude and disrespectful. I would have let him sit there and. But running back to the airtight chamber, the guy dropped his papers and stopped to pick them up and froze to death anyway. So classic stuff. But that was it, man. This score of absolute 0. That's it. It's over. Balling. Why do I say that? It's stupid. Whatever. I'm stupid.